Hey guys, back again with another review, and this time I'm reviewing Marks for Death from 1990, which was directed by Dwight H. Little, and it starred Steven Seagal, Jonah Pacula, Basil Wallace, Keith David, Tom Wright, Elizabeth Grayson, Betty Ford, and young Daniel Harris, Danny Trejo. So what happens is at the beginning, John Hatch and his partner, they catch Hector, who's played by Danny Trejo, and they throw him in their boot of the car and they try and do a steal, even though his partner says to John, "We've been made. If anyone's been made, it's us." So he doesn't want to do it, but John's like, "Yeah, we're going to do it." Well, they get found out. A big shootout ensues, and his partner ends up getting killed by a prostitute who shoots him. So he kills the prostitute and he decides that he's going to retire from the force. So he goes to see his sister, Melissa, his mum, and his niece, Tracy. It's all nice up there, and it seems all friendly, and we think, oh, it's going to be a quite nice film. Well, it wouldn't be an action film if it was nice, would it? So that's a bit, ugh. So he goes to see his old friend Max, who was his coach. And he goes, oh, hello, and they're all happy. But you see these two Jamaican fellas selling, like, kind of getting these kids to take crack. And I'm not sure they're trying to set them or not, but they're trying to get them to take it, probably so they can set it on. And Max doesn't like this. Max gets very angry because he's had players that have been affected by it, and he doesn't agree with it, and he's quite angry. And John's like, leave it alone, man, leave it alone. So he starts complaining to John about while they're in a bar. But on the other hand, we've got this kind of business going on, I think, between the Italians and the Jamaicans, and the Italians are feeling weak because I think they're supposed to be Italian mobsters. I could be wrong, but that's what I felt. Screwface kind of threatens him a bit, and then all of a sudden you see Screwface walk on the other side, even though he's standing beside the guy. Basically, scares the guy silly, like, no, like, he scares him, and he's like, some of his men go in the bar, and the Jamaicans run there and start shooting them and killing them. Well, John gets involved. And one of the guys goes, "You're a dead man now, man," and all that. That's a really bad impersonation. But he says that, and John goes, "When there won't be the first time, basically, or when have I never been?" Something like that. Tough guy. He goes, he meets Leslie, who seems to know about voodoo and seems to know about all this stuff. And she eventually tells him that if he wants to win, he has to beat Screwface to show his magic is better. So Screwface isn't just a gang drug lord. He's a magician who does voodoo. I know voodoo's magic. And he scares everybody. Why does he scare everybody? Well, you find out at the end of the film. Because they think he's got magical powers to turn up everywhere. So he gets to know Leslie a bit, and that's not really the main focus of the movie, but it's a little bit nice. And you meet Charles, who's played by Tom Wright, and he's had enough. And he feels like the police are not doing what they should be doing about Screwface because he's scum of the earth, and so is all his men because they're not, doing Jamaicans a good justice because he's Jamaican, I think. And he definitely looks similar, like the way he dresses. I'm guessing that's what they were going for. Then you've got Max, Charles, and John. They're all going against him. And what gets John most is when the Jamaicans drive by and shoot in and they get his niece. And he goes like this. And he says to the doctor, "You treat her like the president, you hear me? The president of the United States." Yeah, which was interesting. But so he ends up going after Screwface's men and that. And it becomes quite a good action movie. I have to admit, this is my favourite Steven Seagal movie. And I think it has to do with the whole Jamaican storyline because they are intimidating. They are scary to the fact that you feel like they're going to do the voodoo on like his sister. You feel like his whole family are vulnerable because of this magic. Even though they're not really using magic, it is scary to a big degree. And John turning up and helping people just at the right time, it builds up the suspense of what's going to happen in the end between Screwface and him and Tom, and between him, Screwface, Charles, and John. And, is Screwface one person? Can he clone himself by making his big massive magic? Has he got the skills that everybody thinks he has? His men are afraid of him, but at the same time they love the guy by the looks of it. From at the end, So Overall, the acting is really good. I really enjoyed Burns and Wallace as Screwface. Screwface has to be one of my favourite villains of all time. Steven Seagal was great at this time of his life. This was before he became the chubby Seagal, and he actually could move about and do his own stunts. And he was a real good-looking bloke and had a great body at the time. I don't know why he let himself go. Maybe it's an illness or something. I don't know. Tom Wright was great. Danielle Harris was great as a young Tracy, just getting shot. She's in the hospital after that, and you don't really see much of her after that. But they go to Jamaica to fight Screwface because apparently he's over there. When the story unfolds completely, it's really interesting. So overall, I really like this film. There's a lot of action, like car chases, martial arts fights, everything you could ask for. They tried to trap John at one point. Everything you'd want from action movies in this movie. And to be honest, this is probably my top 10 action movies of all time. I've watched this movie so many times in my life, but I can't help but love this movie. So much fun, so much to it, just great. And like I said, this was at the top of Steven Seagal's career. Now when you watch his movies, well, but, you know, so I'd give this movie a 5 out of 5 because I like the voodoo aspect. I like the whole Jamaicans, you know, I like that. I think that's quite a good storyline. I found them more intimidating than the Italians in the movie. The Italians just seem like guys walking around in suits who were sleazy. There's a great bit in the movie with a guy called Jimmy Fingers where he goes, "I'm a made man, John, you can't touch me." And one of Screwface's guys. And what happens is great because, I won't spoil much, he goes down and sees, I think it's Max or Charles, and they go, "What happened?" And he goes, one believed he was invincible and the other one believed he could fly. And it's just a great thing to say. And the music in this movie is awesome as well. And the women in it are just funny. Like, it's one where he goes in the bar and this woman dances over to him to the song. He just stares at her. It's a classic 90s moment. So overall, it's a fantastic movie. And I give it a 5 out of 5. And I highly recommend it. So thanks for watching, guys. And take care.